Hello, I'm Ayla and welcome to your Sabel Studios summer reset video. We're going to do some mat Pilates, so just find your mat. It's all lying down today, which is beautiful. But yeah, just find your mat, take a seat. And yeah, if you've got any injuries or niggles, anything that feels a little bit uncomfortable, just notice that in your body right now. And remember, you can take a moment at any point. Pause this video, just take a breather, have some water, and come back to it at your own pace. Same with modifications, just take any modifications you need. And yeah, let's get started together. We're gonna start lying down on our backs and just start by bringing our feet mat width apart. We're gonna go into a little windscreen wiper stretch just to open that lumbar spine, our lower spine. Dropping the knees from side to side. Beautiful, just noticing where in your body might feel a little bit tighter. Just how you're feeling, whether what your day has brought. Just giving yourself a moment now. Wonderful. Finding those knees back up to the sky, and we're going to bring our feet nice and close in towards our butt. We're going to bring our hands and make a little diamond with them, and then place those hands on our hips. So we've just got a little bit of a diamond with our fingers and our thumbs. We're going to go into some pelvic tilts, which are some really small movements. And yeah, I want you to take them really slow and controlled. So we're going to start by just pointing our fingers up towards the ceiling and flattening our lower back along the mat. Then we're going to point our fingers down towards the mat, opening up that space under our lower back. Beautiful. Rocking between these two movements, I want you to pretend there's a little marshmallow under your lower back. And as your fingers point up, you flatten it. And then as your fingers point down, you open up that space to open that marshmallow. So we're just noticing the way our pelvis tilts here. I want you to also notice the movement in between these two tilts. So after you point your fingers all the way up to the sky, flattening that marshmallow, we point them back in a neutral spine position before we point them towards the floor, and you open up that space in your lower back. So we've got two really extensions of our tilts before we find that neutral spine in the middle each time we rock back and forth. So I'm going to be using some words during all our Pilates classes, but particularly today. As we point our fingers up towards the ceiling and we flatten our back, this is called an imprint spine because we're imprinting our spine onto the mat. As you find that full tilt and you open up that gap between your lower spine, this is called our extension or our tilt. And then as we find that neutral spine, that's going to be right in the middle. And I want you to find that there for me now. So where there's a slight gap under your lower back, you're not tilting too far in either way, and our hands are relatively flat, our fingers pointing just forward. Beautiful. Finding this neutral position, and our ribs and the top of our hip are in a nice line together. So that space isn't open, we're not flaring the ribs, but it's just in a beautiful line. Now, find those tilts again, pointing your fingers down towards the floor and then up to the ceiling. We're going to move into a hip bridge now that we've got these beautiful basics. So as you point the fingers up towards the ceiling, you're going to slowly lift with the glutes, pressing through the heels. Find that hip bridge before you roll down with the upper spine, middle spine, lower spine, and then find that full pelvic tilt again, opening that marshmallow under your lower back. Working through that neutral spine, finding your imprint, and then pressing up through the heels. Find that hip bridge before you slowly roll all the way back down. Wonderful. So we're still working through that pelvic tilt at the bottom, except we're rolling up to find that bridge after we imprint and tilt with that pelvis. Wonderful. If you're feeling good here, you can bring those arms up, just decreasing your stability a bit. As we roll up, I want you to think of your spine as a string of pearls. They just slowly come up one by one, each vertebrae at a time. before you lower back down nice and slowly as well. We're pressing up through the heels, engaging those glutes. Still noticing how your pelvis rocks forward and back. We've got 2 more of these really nice controlled rolls. In 1. Slowly rolling back down. Now I want you to find that neutral pelvis, that neutral spine. So working through your tilt and your tilt with your fingers up towards the ceiling, working through these, and then just finding that neutral spine, which is right in the middle of both of those. Once you are here, we're going to go for a hip hinge. So no longer rolling through the spine with our string of pearls, but we're just lifting up and lowering down. So let's work through this together, lifting up and lowering. So this is going to engage those glutes a little bit more. Fire up through the glutes and the hamstrings. I want us to notice our ribs. Maybe place your hands on them for a minute. We're not going to flare them up and open. So we don't want to open everything up and extend. We don't keep them knitted together as we lift and lower. That means we're also not arching through the back. We're keeping that spine nice and neutral. It doesn't move from when we lower, tapping the glutes down, and we lift them up. Let's remember our breath here, exhaling as we lift, inhale as we lower. Making a nice long line from those ribs to those knees. Using that breath. We've got 3 more like this. In 2, just tapping those glutes in, going. In 1. Lifting all the way up and holding it there. Let's lift the right leg, find a tabletop position, lowering it back down, and then lower the hips, tap them down again. Exhale, lift. Lift your right leg up to tabletop, lowering it down and lowering the hips. If you want to challenge that stability, add those arms up towards the ceiling. Otherwise, keep them on your hips if you want to really notice and focus on that neutral spine. And if you're needing a little bit more support, place those hands just along the mat to just give you that little bit of extra grip. Wonderful. That left leg will be fired up. All that weight is driving through that heel. Making sure as you lift that leg to tabletop, the knee is in line with the hip, and you're making a beautiful right angle. On your next one, holding it up. Now, either just going for those marches, tapping the leg down and lifting up. Otherwise, hold that leg up to the ceiling and sweep it down and up. If you want to do little sweeps, feel free to go there. If you want to do really big sweeps, reach that full range of motion. And if either of those just aren't feeling super good today, work through those marches, taking a reset every time, and then just lifting that leg and lowering it down. We've got 5 more seconds here. Can you lift up a little bit higher with those glutes? Keep pressing through that left heel. In 3, in 2, in 1. Wherever you are, hold it up. If you're doing those sweeps, hold that leg low towards the floor. We've got a 10-second hold. In 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down. Oh, that left leg, it hurts. Cross that leg over your right leg and just draw it in towards your chest. That really would have fired up our glutes and our hamstrings. Great work. We're going to go for the other side now. So after we take a couple of breaths here, stretching out that leg. Beautiful. Let's place those feet back down onto the mat. Finding those hands on our pelvis again. Let's go for those tilts, that imprint of the spine, and then that release, that imprint of the spine, that release. Beautiful. And let's find your neutral spine. Nice and long. Wonderful. We are going to start by tapping our hips down and lifting them up, keeping our ribs knitted together, not flaring anything out, but engaging our core while we move through all of these exhales. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Driving up through those heels. Let's add on that march of that left leg now. So we lift up, Lifting the left leg into tabletop, lowering it down and tapping the hips. Lifting up, left leg marches, lowering it down. Remember, arms can come onto the mat for a little bit more support. If you want to really notice that neutral spine, keep them on your hips, making sure our spine is nice and long. We're not sinking down into our back at any point, but we're engaging that core. Thinking of our side tummy muscles, those ribs knitting together. It all supports that spine. Beautiful. As we lift, keeping those hips in line. If you're looking for that little bit more of an extra challenge, we can float those arms up to the ceiling. Wonderful. Oh, I'm feeling a bit wobbly. Doing so well, team. 2 more like this. Beautiful. Using that exhale to lift up. Exhale, lift. Leg comes up. We're going to hold it here. Waving those legs. Go for that challenge, whatever that wave looks like. Keeping those hips high, or we're just marching that leg. Finding your tabletop and lowering it down. We're keeping those hips lifted long through that body, tucking that pelvis under so our hips and our ribs, the space between it is nice and short. We're connecting through our body. We've got 5. Oh, so sore. You're doing so well. In 3. In 2, we've got our hold, wherever that looks like. If you're waving that leg, keep that leg lifted and hold it. Otherwise, hold that tabletop leg. I'm here with you. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Can you lift that glute a little bit higher? Keeping that connection through the body in 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg and lower the glutes. Beautiful work, team. Let's cross that right leg over our left leg and draw it nice and close towards our body. Absolutely smashed that. It's a bit of a silent killer. Just take a couple breaths here. Every exhale, sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. We are all done with our glute work. Wonderful. Let's release those legs back down. And we're going to find our neutral spine again. So remembering that is when we gently tuck our pelvis, not so it's all the way imprinted, but just so that everything's in a nice long line. Now we're going to float one leg up to tabletop in that 90-degree angle, and we're going to float that other leg up to tabletop. Making sure our knees are stacked over our hips and our legs go out in a nice 90-degree angle. We're going to place our hands just on the mat to start us off with. Now, if this is feeling uncomfortable for your lower back, feel free to reset the legs and imprint your spine. So remember, tucking under, imprinting your spine. That'll just help your lower back. Otherwise, place those hands also under those hips and find your tabletop. So wherever you're at the moment, we've got a nice stable position. We're going to start by toe tap. So tapping the leg and then returning back to tabletop. As you tap the leg, I want you to think of your hip as a little hinge. So instead of just tapping the toes right underneath you, you're extending the leg out and hinging back. Hinging that leg out from the hip and returning back. Use your exhale as you lower. Inhale, return back. Exhale. Inhale, return back. Not letting yourself arch through the spine or the lower back, but we're staying nice and connected, shortening that space between the hips and the ribs. Beautiful. Once you're feeling good here, those arms can come up to stack over your shoulders. And we're going to alternate the arms with the legs. So as your right leg taps, the left arm reaches away from you and all returns back. Left leg taps, right arm reaches, and then everything taps back. So we're going into a little bit of a dead bug here and just really controlling those movements. Making sure every time you return back, it all comes back to that stacked position. If you need to take a moment to reset, feel free. Otherwise, keep moving at your own pace. This is our first level and layer. If this feels good, stay here. Otherwise, let's add on. We're going to stretch the leg out nice and long along the mat and then return it back in. That is your layer. Extending the knee, stretching the leg long to fire up those lower abs. Wonderful. We've got 3. In 2. In 1. Beautiful. If you want that next layer, we're doing double leg and double arm. Super fun. So extending both arms and both legs out, and then returning both arms and legs in. Extending the arms and the legs out, returning them in. If you want to break them up, you can do alternate with the arm and the leg, one on each side, and then challenge yourself. Go for that double arm, double leg. Wonderful. If you're moving through these, just notice how that spine is. Are you arching through that back? Do you need to maybe move those hands to support under that lower back? Otherwise, keep moving through here. Tucking with that pelvis, just a gentle tuck. We've got 3. In 2. Oh, spicy. In 1. Hold everything together. We're gonna go for some curls now with the upper abs. Exhale, sweep the arms down, plant the palms on the mat. Inhale, curl everything back up. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Beautiful, we're so close to the end, team, don't stop. Now, you've got 3. Exhale, in 2. Exhale, last one. Hold it up with me. Exhale. We're gonna do those toe taps that we just practiced now. So reaching that left leg down, back, right leg down, back, and lower the head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, sweep everything up. Alternating toe taps, just one on each side, and then we sweep everything down. If you want to go for that leg extension, be my guest. Give yourself that little challenge. If you also want to go for that double leg extension, go for it. Oh, burning up all those abs, our lower abs as we move those legs, and our upper abs as we lift, not just with the head and the neck, but with our shoulders and our core. We've got 2. 1 more, team. Use that exhale, push yourself up, just going for those legs. So toe tapping, or extending that leg long, or going for those double legs. We've got 5, in 4, in 3, stay lifted, in 2, 2, 2, keep going, 2, last one, 1, oh, woo, giving those knees a big hug in towards your chest. That got challenging, you crushed it. Maybe do some circles with those knees, just slowing down that breath. Amazing. We've got a little workout in and we haven't even left our backs. So good. Let's just come grounding our hands along the mat, maybe closing down those eyes for a minute. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth, letting everything sink into the mat. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling, letting everything sink. We're going to go into a figure 4 stretch, so crossing that left leg over your right knee and pulling it in towards that chest. Feeling that stretch through the left glute. As you exhale here, letting yourself sink a little bit deeper every time. Closing down those eyes, just noticing how your body feels now that you've moved. Now that you've challenged yourself a little bit. Even if you just fit it into your day, just noticing how you feel because of it. Being proud of yourself and taking this moment. Last breath here as you exhale. Returning the legs back down. I'm going to go for the other side, so crossing the right leg over our left knee and drawing it up towards that chest. Again, every exhale, just sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. You've got 3 more breaths here, just using this time for yourself. One more breath here, big inhale through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Returning those legs back down to the mat. And again, give your knees a big hug in towards your chest. Maybe little circles with the knees. And then we're going to rock them forward and back, forward and back. And you're going to come all the way up to sitting. And you guys are all done. Great work today.